Hi, I'm Dan Duncan. I'm the supervising director and producer on Invincible Season 2 and 3.
My name is Sean O'Neill, and I'm the art director for Season 2 and supervising producer on Invincible.
I'm Jason Zurek. I'm a storyboard director for Skybound animation on Invincible, and I directed episode 204. Even by Invincible standards, 204 is an extremely action-packed episode. There's a lot of really cool stuff in this one. There's some big reveals.
Who's that?
This is your little brother.
It's also weird to me because I'm in end of season 3 mode to be like, you guys don't know about Oliver? Oliver's been around for like 2 seasons.
Yeah, the whole family is awesome for the stuff that we've been working on for these 2 seasons, and just like Mark's growth, Nolan's growth, but I don't know, if I had to pick one, it would be Debbie.
When you get into like the nuances of expressions in scenes and beats, like Debbie is my favorite character to board, my favorite character to draw and design for. Like if that was like my one dedicated job, which is to do Debbie stuff, like that's it, I'd be happy.
I never even fucking knew you.
We start moving away from Earth. There was a lot of opportunity that opened up for us, like a lot of things that, like, you know, you're very much tied into what has been established on Earth because that's where most of the show has been. We have a lot of shots. Season 1, Season 2, we go into space and we're above the planet. Everything is very black. The further away we get from Earth, the more color we start to introduce. And so by the time we get to someplace like Telescria, the biggest thing is like making sure that we are not treading the same ground. If we're going someplace new, it should feel new.
What are the skills that make a great board artist? The answer is genuinely just they draw really good, they're really nice, they spend a lot of time drawing, and it's just a lot of time drawing.
There's talent, there's like how you work together, like as an individual, as a team. We all want to be ourselves, we all want to come onto something and shine, but it's like sometimes what you need is to be able to look like the previous dude.
So it's true. The great Nolan fathered a child with an Earth woman.
It was cool to bring in a lot of people that I knew and had worked with before, people that I knew I could trust, people that I felt comfortable with. But then the crew was so large that they started bringing in people that I had never met before, and seeing them grow was really, really exciting. And seeing like such a big crew get along and just like understand the assignment and really like, this is the show, this is what we're here to make.
When you bring somebody on and you see them like lock in on like exactly what it is that we're all working towards. It's like when people start to hit the model, when your color scripts come together and you can start to see the episode come to life, it's just like, that means like, it's like you're doing your job well, they're doing their job well, we're making something meaningful, like we're accomplishing like the goal that we set out to accomplish.
My favorite thing about leading board artists is finding each board artist's particular strengths. I was lucky, I had an incredibly strong team on Invincible.
I try not to think about how intimidating all this stuff is for the fans, because I am a fan. You can't help it sometimes, like you have these moments that are just really, really special. It's a show for a mature audience, and not just because it's violent and gory, but because everything has weight to it, everything matters.
Robert gives a lot of freedom to the board artists, but he knows when there's a big moment in the comic that he wants us to stick to. The Invincible fan base, they love these big moments, and it's nice to be a part of that.
We worked with Kevin Molina-Ortiz on 200. He was the highway fight sequence that everybody was really excited about, and that was super exciting to work with him and with Haley, who was the director on that episode, but also just like smaller moments. Like we're just finishing up stuff on an episode now with like really quiet character moments, and we were working with the director on that specifically, and then just like plussing those final scenes in post to make sure that the nuance was there. And it's just 2 characters sitting still talking to each other, and it was like, it's some of the proudest stuff I've done so far.
I would say gigantic battle scenes are always a challenge to do in animation just because of the particular limits of TV animation, but when you have a story that can weave those character moments that set up the battle, and Invincible I think does a really great job of not separating the two, but tying the two together.
Because I get to work on all of the episodes, I try to approach it as as high as possible, working with the individual directors and really trying to make sure that they're pushing as hard as they can on their individual episodes, and then working with like Robert and Simon and Amazon and everybody else, like when we do all of the notes and when we go through everything, to try and make sure that it's really, really cohesive.
Having season 1 behind us, there was a really great foundation that the First Art team had set up, and I think the guiding star for all of us always is Corey. Like, he established the look for season 1, so to be able to kind of like get behind that and learn what makes it tick and really try and represent it, like that's the guiding star.
Mark, get Andressa and your brother to safety.
Where?
Andressa will show you. Go, there's no time.
Like, supervising, directing on this show and pretty much any show is working with the writing team to understand like what the scripts are going for, what they're about, and then working with Sean and the art director and the art team to try and make sure that we have as many materials as we can get so that we can work with the storyboard team to create that animatic that's like our rough blueprint, our rough plan for everything. Send it to overseas and help them make sure that they understand what we were going for, all the nuances in the animatic and the nuances in the art direction. And then when it comes back, we cut post, like we edit it down, we call visual effects, we tidy it up, clean it up as nice as we can. We go through sound effects and working with John in the composer, doing music stuff, and then package it all up and deliver it to Amazon. Like, from beginning to end, I get to kind of see a little bit of everything. There's so many moments that the fans caught. Like, I'm really surprised. But if I'm being honest, through 203 came out last night and the first thing I did this morning was I checked to see if anybody saw that Vorg had 2 buttholes, was Alan's cat. And at least one person caught it, and it was like my favorite thing in the whole world. Just to know that you're getting paid to write like, I need another butthole on this cat.
Yeah, I think that was the hardest part. Was I can't tell you how many just colorful bits of poetry I wrote and trying to communicate number of
we did try to figure out what the
sizes.
plural of anus was to just be like, on the level, and eventually just gave up.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody who's watching. Like, I can't thank you enough. It's been super awesome to work on this show. I'm really grateful for everybody and how much you guys appreciate it, and we're trying to get it to you as fast as humanly possible.
As hard as we work, it only matters if you show up. So really appreciate just all the support and all the positivity. It makes it all worth it.